Hello and welcome back to Technosphere YouTube channel. So we have some bad news as AMD spokesperson Risa Su was represented at Stanley Morgan's Technology Media and Telecom Conference, and here is the transcript. Basically there were many questions which has been asked to Lisa Su, and the thing that came out was like there was a question which stated like what your visibility into being able to meet that demand out that's out there, because of the microprocessor market is dealing with the shortage at the current moment of time. And to which she says like I think uh, we are seeing is really that build out is build out continue in a very positive fashion. So back to your comment about there is it supply tightness. Yes, there is supply tightness, but that's really because the market sizing is bigger than what we had forecasted 3 or 6 months ago, and so it always takes time for the supply chain to catch up and what the market variance. And I can say that we are very well positioned for a supply standard to meet a large percentage of that demand. So this just confirms it that there is indeed going to be a shortage. And the thing is, the major reason behind it will be because the AI training models are being done and now they are going to inference, and inference is basically more CPU dependent, and that's why the CPU pricing will also be going up, which was being predicted or thought about here, because both Intel and AMD have warned the Chinese customers of delay on server CPU shipments. Report says as AI demand begins to eat into the processor market, which is indeed true because inference is more heavily dependent on CPUs than that of GPUs. That's why this will cause a CPU market to get high in pricing. And since this should not affect consumers, but AMD and Intel will focus majorly on server sides of CPUs, so that the consumer market will get less CPU and there will be constraint in demand in supply of this GPUs, which is indeed bad to see, but it is what it is. We should keep in mind, and if you want to build a new PC, maybe it's the right time to do it rather than waiting for a long time. Lastly, Sony is, according to a report from Bloomberg, Sony is pulling back from PlayStation games on PC. One of the reasons might be because the PC port takes lots of time and energy, and it is not generating lots of revenue. It is only 1.3% of the total revenue for Sony. Along with it, the second thing is because of Steam Machine and Xbox, because the next generation of Xbox will be able to run Steam, and Steam Machine literally runs Steam games. So if you're porting these PlayStation games on PC, there's no point to buy a PlayStation anymore. That's why PlayStation wants to maintain an exclusivity for PlayStation 6. So that's why they are going to go back, and there's a silver lining to it because the first party games like the single player games will be exclusive to PlayStation. So Marvel's Wolverine and Saros will not be coming to PC, but at the same time we will be seeing the third party games which is more multiplayer focus, like Marvel Token Fighters is coming indeed to PC and various other games. So it's not all gloom and doom. So multiplayer games are from Sony will indeed come to PC, but not single player games. Next up, we also saw this is like a tweet which says like I wish this was the case, but in many ways it seems true, since if true they see the last nail in the coffin with Xbox and churn Darius. So because of the Valve as a major new competitor, Valve will enter the living room and the console segment with Steam Machine and likely third party variants of its all running on SteamOS. Valve doesn't make many mistakes, and Sony is smart to realize this. Shipping good exclusive games matters, and it's not rocket science. So that's why they are doing it. It is bad to see, but yeah, it is what it is. We will still be getting PlayStation games on PC, not single player games, but yeah. Lastly, we have some news regarding NVIDIA, and NVIDIA is reportedly planning to launch an RTX 5050 with 9 GB of memory and on a 96-bit bus, which is weird to see because 96-bit bus is weird because the current SKU of 5050 comes with 128-bit bus. but it comes with 8 GB, 4 sticks of 2 GB RAM. But now with RTX 5050 we are getting 1 GB more RAM with 9 GB, totally 9 GB plus 9 GB, and it is 3 GB module with 3 modules. It is still going to be maybe at 28 gigabits per second transfer speed, and on a 196 bus it will be a bandwidth of 5% more. And this leak is coming from basically mega size GPU. As you can see, RTX 5050 GB205 is incoming. NVIDIA has jammed AIC with RTX 5060 Ti and later realized, oh shit, no GB206 for 5060. And here comes the solution. 5060 was based on GB205. Poor AIC needs to make a new 5060 PCB to house the GB205. Basically what's happening is GB205 is RTX 5070 and they are going to make RTX 57, not going to make RTX 5070, but they are going to make 5060 out of this GB205 by disassembling more cores and stuff like that, and basically making a 5070 PCB with a 8-pin connector. So an RTX 5060 with GB205 is incoming. Along with it, RTX 5050 with 9 GB of memory. So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, that's it from me today. What do you think about the news? Sound off your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll meet you in the next one. Peace out.